Hello everyone. This video is a short introduction to the assessment practices that are being followed here at Sumner Memorial High School. For many of you, this will be a review of information and a document that was presented to staff and students last year. These are the assessment practices that we followed with a few tweaks for our 2019-2020 school year. In column A here we have the student responsibilities, and in column B we have the teacher responsibilities. So we'll go through these quickly, and again, these are our assessment practices that we are following this year. Students will be offered a minimum of 3 opportunities to demonstrate proficiency in each performance indicator. That's their responsibility. On the teacher side, the teachers will provide those minimum of 3 assessment opportunities. In terms of attempts, our expectation for students are to appropriately attempt a minimum of 3 assessment opportunities, and teachers will make that happen by teaching and assessing all of the performance indicators in the curriculum maps. After students have attempted those minimum assessment opportunities, we will use a mode score to record that assessment score in the individual learning plan. Teachers will also record these assessment scores in the summative tracker in Mastery Connect. We don't have formative trackers at Sumner. Instead, formative assessments will be used in the classroom to determine when students are learning and when they should be taking a summative assessment. Teachers have a strong and legal responsibility to determine a body of evidence for a student. Unfortunately, if a student fails to appropriately attempt a minimum of 3 assessments, they will be provided and given a 1 for those assessments that are not attempted. Teachers may also override scores recorded in Mastery Connect to determine a final score for body of evidence if they feel the student has not demonstrated through their performance in summative assessments. These are some tweaks or additions to our assessment agreements this year. Students will be given up to a 1-week window of opportunity to complete assessments. So when a teacher assigns an assessment, a student will have up to 7 days. A teacher may also decrease that time all the way down to the very day that the assessment is being given. So students will be given either a 1 or a 1 to 7 day opportunity for their assessments. Teachers again may assign this 1-week window of opportunity. Teachers will not assign any more than a 1-week opportunity. So the real question is, what happens if a student misses the window of opportunity? The document here that we'll discuss next, the Assessment Action Agreement Form, this has been in existence for 3 years. This is the contract that students and teachers make with one another for students to complete review work, reteaching, and also maybe some remediation to make sure that they are in fact ready for the summative assessment that they have missed. Students, unfortunately, have taken in the past a long time to complete assessment action agreement forms, sometimes months after the learning has actually happened, which is not only out of order, but at the same time very difficult for teachers to determine whether a student actually has the information that's necessary for them to take a summative assessment. So we have implemented a 2-week window. Students will have no more than 2 weeks to follow a missed assessment with an opportunity for a AAA form. Again, on the other side, teachers will allow students no more than a 2-week window following that missed or completed assessment. So this puts some responsibility on both teachers and students, these last 2 items, for them to be looking at harder deadlines, which we know is a real world skill that we want our students to learn and be comfortable with. So again, as we go down through, students are going to have minimum opportunities for assessments. They must attempt those assessments. Once we have scores, we'll record them in our Mastery Connect as well as our ILPs. Teachers do have the option and the responsibility to make sure that students have an overall body of evidence. This is determined by the teacher. This is a legal statute that they follow. Students will have up to a week from the time that an assessment is assigned, and if they miss that assessment window, they will have only 2 weeks from the time that they missed that assessment to fill out a AAA form and form an agreement with teachers to get that work and that assessment made up. If you have any questions about our assessment practices, parameters, or requirements, please don't hesitate to call, send an email, or stop in to schedule an appointment to talk with me. I'd love to speak with anybody who has any questions.